welcome you all to this wonderful episode of managing your differences in relationship and marriage. And the ingredient we'll be discussing today is argue less in your relationship and marriage. Argue less. When you argue too much in your marriage, you become barbarians. You give yourself an identity in your neighborhood that are unpleasant, or an identity that is unpleasant in your neighborhood. So argue less. Argument erodes relationship. Argument shreds the fabric of relationship. In fact, many a times, when you argue too much, you end up winning the argument and losing your friend. So in relationship and marriage, don't win an argument and lose your spouse. Argue less. Discuss more. The easiest way to make enemies is through avoidable arguments. Arguments spoil any kind of relationship you can think of. When two people in a relationship indulge indiscretionally in arguments, they unconsciously set a digger at the foundation of the relationship. When married couples engage indiscretionally in arguments, arguing about virtually everything, shouting on each other, dragging issues with each other, irreconcilable differences with each other, not even willing to shift ground for each other, all of this will set a digger at the foundation of their marriage. So, if you want your marriage foundation to continue to stand, I encourage you today as a wife or as a husband to argue less with your spouse. When two people in relationship indulge in arguments, the resultant effect is dangerous for their marriage. And it is only a matter of time. The structure will crumble. Too much argument spoils relationship. Too much argument spoils marriage. Sometimes, even when you realize that what your spouse is saying is not the correct thing, for the sake of peace, you allow it be. When the frayed nerves are calmed, then you can chip in your own contrary opinion responsibly. It is better to lose an argument, I said it the other time, and win a friend than to win an argument and lose a friend. And I say in marriage, it is better to lose an argument and win your spouse than to lose your spouse and win an argument. Philippians 2:14 says, do all things without murmuring and disputing. And if the word of God is true, I understand the way this sounded in my ear. It sounded like an instruction. Do all things without murmuring and disputing. And if that is an instruction, it is a divine instruction that every child of God ought to adhere to strictly, obey totally, because if we choose to disobey that instruction, the aftermath effect of it, we are at the receiving end. We are at the receiving end of the aftermath effect of our disobedience. So argue less, indulge more in dialogue, indulge more in discussion, indulge more in engaging issues. Don't engage yourselves. Don't engage each other. Don't attack each other, but attack issues. Address issues. Leave personalities out of issues and reach a harmonious conclusion. that is workable for everybody in the family. Until another time when I come with another edition of managing differences in relationship and marriage, I remain your friend. Stay blessed.